Welcome to the Miss Best Reviews channel. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas to everybody. Welcome in. Let's welcome James from the Watch Your Mouth Reviews channel. Good evening.
Hey. Good evening, everybody. Like, comment, and subscribe. Show my girl some love. We appreciate you.
We genuinely do appreciate you. I also hope that everybody sees the link in the description of this video. Subscribe to James's channel as well. There's also a link to Also Best, Shayna MCD, and Kiwan JTV, all creators, all chocolatey creators that we love. Please subscribe or consider looking into their content. We will be collabing with Kiwan in January very soon on my channel. We might be collabing with her on James's channel as well because she covers shows that we both cover on each of our channels. And then we've collabed with Shayna before and we're going to do it again.
Yes.
So support other creators, but we are here today to go over 90 Day Fiance before the 90 days. Prepare for takeoff. This is season 8, episode 3. Y'all, as James said before this live started, the episode was good, but it really makes, like, I feel like shows like this, the reason I like covering them is because no matter how ignorant you think you are, or no matter what hood you feel you were delivered from, there's always somebody out there more ignorant than you.
Right.
Because none of these people make sense to me. So we're going to start today by discussing Laura and Birkan. Laura is 47 and she lives in Washington State, a very pretty but very wet state. Birkan is younger. He is 20 years younger than her and he lives in Turkey and he is a Muslim. So she's packing up. She's getting ready to go to him. Here's the thing. She has a little bit of, like, I don't even want to call it a love triangle. So she has a best friend that's a guy. Her best friend that's a guy. His name is Michael. He's in her age range. He seems to match her income bracket and all of these things. They seem to have sparks and have had a thing. But basically, she says she has to date and live her life because she can't wait on him to express his love or figure out if he wants to be with her or not. But it looks like Michael might want to be with her because he was very emotional. But whatever the hell, she decided that she's going to move on and go to Turkey and be with this man who's young enough to be her child. So good for you, Laura. Good for you. Don't wait for nobody. I just wish you would have moved on with somebody more age appropriate, but good for you. Very good. So she feels like she's going to eventually have to make a choice if things go well with her and Birkan when she goes to Turkey. She feels like she's going to eventually have to choose between her best friend and her man. And I'm not going to lie, I low-key felt for her. I had a male friend when I started to get close to my husband who was like, I feel like I don't see you anymore. He's ruining the friendship, blah, 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 all that stuff. And eventually I ended up choosing my husband over him, which I was glad I did because he turned into my husband and still is. But that is a real thing. Not everybody is equipped or okay with relationships of people who are heterosexual of the opposite sex. Like, not everybody's okay with it, and not always for like jealousy reasons or concerns. Sometimes it's religious, sometimes it's cultural. Like in Birkan's situation and circumstance, I'm pretty sure it's because he's a Muslim. I'm Turkish. I'm pretty sure that's why. But Laura's going to the airport. Her parents are taking her, and this is the first time we meet her parents. I actually really liked her parents. I enjoyed them a lot. I didn't have much bad to say. I feel like they did what parents are supposed to do, which was give it to you straight. Somebody has to tell you the truth. Coddling people has never been good. Dealing with word salad, things like that. So I was very glad to see that her mom told her about herself. So Laura told her parents for the first time that she is dating somebody who is out of the country, 20 years younger than her, and of a different faith. The reason she waited to tell her parents is because they are extremely conservative and Catholic. But her parents seemed okay. They seemed like the type of conservative people who, like, maybe are not going to curse and will show up to church every Sunday, but probably aren't judging everybody else and just living their life. They don't seem like the overly conservative people. I just feel like I have to say that in today's climate because conservative can be taken in so many contexts. But her parents aren't that bad. Her mom thinks that Bir Khan wants a ticket to America, which is a fair thought, especially if you've seen this show, heard of this show, and have heard of the scams going on all over the world. So her mom feels like he's using her. However, the mom also feels like he's telling her what she wants to hear because she is older. I don't know. The parents were a lot. Bir Khan, before we get to meeting him and his friends, I want to pause and get James's opinion on Laura, her parents. I liked her mama. Her dad could have said more, but I liked her mom.
I liked her mom too. However, I thought that was kind of the point of the show in terms of like people coming over here, becoming, getting citizens. I thought that was the whole premise of the show. People finding love in alternative places because people in the US sometimes can be full of shit. So you go to other places where they're a little bit more structured and you try to make it work in that aspect. So I thought that was something that was understood. So when the mom was saying that, it's not understood.
On this show, if you've watched, because James is new to this series,
right?
For those who do not know. So there are several people who have been on this show that have scammed, used, abused, committed crimes. And not just the people outside of America. It's been on both ends. Some of these Americans are acting a fool on this show. So a lot of times people seem to come on this show with like really bad trauma, ulterior motives, and on some scam type mess. So I feel like maybe her mom has watched this or something and may have known because her demographic does like TLC.
Makes sense in hindsight. Makes sense. Now my question would be to the mama then. See, because you can't really tell her what to do. And you can't really like see, this is a sticky one because I feel like for me, if I had like all these ifs, I just probably would disengage and just let them fall on their own sword. I know that's hard to say because that's as a parent with their child, but I don't know. I don't know if I would be this involved if that's the case because I don't want that to come on me.
Yeah, and it's hard. We just met her parents for the first time, so it's hard to like have a full opinion. But her mom definitely did not withhold.
Yeah, she wasn't shy. You can be like, she wasn't shy about this at all. She looked like she knew what she was talking about. Knew like this wasn't something new to her. She like, look, I'm not, listen, this is what I feel. This is what it is. I'm not trying to hurt your feelings intentionally, but something about this ain't right. Something about this ain't smooth. I don't know why you going into this with these googly eyes. That's what she was giving me. That's what she was saying in so many words to me.
Because Laura couldn't really tell her mom anything special about him or why she feels like they have a strong foundation. And but Laura also, like seeing her parents, sometimes kids with the most stable parents or the closest relationships to family be making the craziest dating decisions. So I feel like a piece of it is that as well. I also feel like a piece of it is Laura used to be a larger woman. She's lost so much weight, which I commend her for doing. But maybe she feels like she has to go for a certain type of man. I don't know. But we meet Bir Khan and some of his friends in Turkey. I thought I was going to get shady vibes from him, but we didn't. He gave more of like philosophical, introverted vibes. He shows his friends a photo of Laura and they're immediately like, she's old. He's like, yeah, I know she's old. And this is where we learn that he has a preference of dating older women. Now, at first, I would have felt like maybe it was scammy or shady if, he never dated an older woman. But if this is what you date in your country and abroad, then, hey, some people like an older person. It worked for some and it don't for some others. In general, it should be a red flag, but for some people it works. So I guess Bir Khan likes older women. I don't know. He said some stuff that bothered me. He was like, she looks good when you consider her age. I'm like, so does she not look good? Because there's some people, regardless of age, they just look good. I'm just saying. So I'm like, what are you trying to say? So I don't know. I couldn't quite read him, but I don't quite trust him. I didn't get the best vibes. That's pretty much all we got. We're gonna see them like reunite or meet each other next week. But how'd you feel about BeerCon?
I didn't like him. I just
No,
didn't. I didn't like him at all. I thought, to me, if the signs, I get what you were saying because he did not come off like he had like any false ulterior motives, but some of it
there's
did
something
give,
about
yeah,
him.
something did give. Like, I don't know if it was given like he was looking for mama or if he was looking for sugar mama. It gave that he was looking for something other than her. Like
Mm-hmm.
it just gave like he was searching, like he wanted her, don't get me wrong, but it's what she may come with. And I'm like, well, sir, she's a teacher. Ain't much you gonna get from that. So I'm trying to figure out, like, what are you into? Like, is this some kind of kink or something? Like, that's what it was. I felt like it was that because it felt like it was maybe giving some sort of like fetish or kink. Maybe that's what it was giving for me. I don't know, but
It could
it was
have.
just
That's what I
weird.
leaned toward at first. But then he was making the comments about she looked good for her age as if she just don't look good. So that kind of made me like, if it was kinky, he wouldn't have even like made a statement like that. But we got to see more of him.
Yeah, I
He's
need to
too
see more because that was
different.
too, yeah, because I was really trying to put this together. I watched this 3 times, y'all, because I was trying to put this together. I was even up in my grandmother's doctor's appointment trying to watch this and really trying to put it together because I really was trying to read this. I was like, no, that's what it still gives me though. Like, I don't know. Hopefully we wrong because that's messed up if it is.
I don't know. Something about him is off, but we'll figure it out. We will. That's what we will do. Now,
Yep.
the next couple that we're going to discuss is a new couple. Lisa, who is 52 years old. She lives in Pennsylvania. Beautiful. I love Pennsylvania. I think it's the cutest state. Anywho, and she's dating Daniel, who is much younger than her. She's 52. He is 39. So before we could even discuss the relationship that is Lisa and Daniel, the sound of this lady voice irked me and made my teeth itch like no other. But we're introduced to her shopping for condoms with her daughter. TLC, what the fuck is the problem? First, we have Forrest's mom telling us how when he turned 18, she took him to the sex store and then riding along in a car together to go to the sex store to buy his girlfriend lingerie. My husband better not ever go buy lingerie with my mother-in-law. And Kathy, I know you watch this channel. Don't you do it. I'm telling y'all that this is not normal.
It's
Now
not.
we got Lisa shopping for condoms with her daughter. The whole situation was very, very strange. When she's shopping for condoms with her daughter ended up walking off. We see this lady talking to the CVS employee, asking him questions about the condom. She's like, so this one, it means it feels like there's no condom on. I'm like, oh my God, lady, read the box.
It's like, really,
Read
like
read the
I'm not,
box.
lady. I'm not finna do this with you today. I'm
The
just not finna do it.
instructions, there's websites, AI.
Where is her dad at? That's what I wanted to know the entire time. I was like, where is this baby's father?
Let me tell you this. Her daughter, shout out to her daughter. Her daughter looked most stressed out than anybody because it's one thing to be buying condoms with your mama, but for her to not, oh, they don't have the biggest selection. No, lady.
It's not. It's like, first of all, condoms have not changed from when you were in your 20s to now
They
being in your
haven't.
50s. They look exactly the same, made by the exact same materials. The only thing about this is that they've created certain type of condoms that have ridges and the other condoms that are a little bit, fluctuation in size. That's probably the only difference between condoms in the 70s and condoms today. So the fact that you sitting up here, the problem is y'all didn't wear them in y'all time. That's probably what it was, that y'all really didn't wear them. So I'm not going to take my 15-year-old child on a condom hunt with me, and instead of, I know she got homework.
She's grown.
Not, oh, why am I saying 15? What am I thinking of? Something of some other shit. Sorry. I don't even.
It's just weird in general.
It's
I don't
weird
feel
in
like
general.
everybody should shop for sexual anything with their parents. That's weird. I feel like that's weird. I mean, I feel like it's okay to like talk about it with your parents, but not in like,
I
I don't know how to explain it, but
yeah, because I'm gonna say I think it's weird to even talk about it, like to
I
even
don't like at
think.
this age. No, when I was a teenager, I had a mom that was open in terms of discussing sex. I also had a mom that in her mind believed no matter what I was having sex, but you know, she would at least discuss it. So, but I feel like as we got older, like the last time I talked to my mama about sex was before she got married to this last husband because he was a pastor. They didn't consummate the marriage before. And I asked her about it. I said, "Is that all right? Don't you want to know what you're working with before you get there?" And she told me, "At this age, I just need somebody that's gonna be there for me, and I'm gonna be there for them." I said, "Oh, okay." A
Interesting,
mess.
interesting.
But y'all, I literally did everything opposite of my parents, and it has worked. I have stability in a marriage, so I'm gonna leave that there. But
I
back
think,
into
well, I
Lisa.
think we did. I think we do that because they can't relate to our time.
Mm-mm.
They can't, and I think this is the case in point here too. But the fact that she doing this, y'all, I was cringing. What's the age difference between this man and her child again?
Not much. Now,
Okay,
Lisa's been married 5 times. That's a
red
lot.
flag.
I feel like I've heard 3, but 5, you don't hear that too often. So Lisa has been married 5 times. She says she's never used a condom.
That's where I heard that at. Okay, I
Yes.
knew I
She
heard
said
that.
that she's never used a condom because every man that she's ever been with, she married. So I can understand that. I can understand that. I can definitely understand that. But she tells us about these spouses. The second husband, the first husband, she says it got an old. I think a lot of people have that story where their first marriage isn't really a marriage. It's some shit they shouldn't have done young and they get in an old and it doesn't count. But her first marriage was annulled and quick. Her second husband, she loved him to death. She says he was her best friend and that he was a better friend than a husband. And that's the husband she had her daughter with. She said that her third husband was her favorite husband, but she left him because she realized that she was a lesbian. I said, wait a minute. How did you realize you were a lesbian with the third husband? She didn't quite go into detail, but this is her story. Now, after the third husband, she says that she only dated women for 21 years and did not date men at all. Her last 2 marriages were each 2 women. Now, she says that she is interested in men again with Daniel, who is who she's dating now. He is from Nigeria. I said, of all places to be. Here's the thing, y'all. Nigeria is notorious for dating scams. My mom was actually a victim of one. Like it is, they are notorious for it. When I worked at a senior center, when I tell you it didn't matter the color, where they was from, or if they spoke English, every senior, I had 90-year-old patients with boyfriends that was 32 running around Nigeria. And I used to be wanting to shake them, but I can't because they old and I needed to keep my job. But I used to be telling them constantly, please stop sending this person money. I don't want to have to recommend you to get it conserved. Like it's sad, but it is common. So when she said that, I was concerned. Daniel's 39 years old. I guess to her, he's like tall, dark, and handsome. He is a handsome man. He ain't all of that, but he's all right. He's 13 years younger than Lisa. He messaged her first on Facebook. And this is where Lisa said to us that she wears wigs every day, which threw me for a loop. I said, huh? How did we get to the wigs? She went from I was messaged on Facebook to wigs. And she says that she wears wigs because an ex of hers, we don't know a male or a woman or which ex, but an ex of hers made her cut her hair, which made me want to know more about her relationships because that's a huge red flag and highly abusive if someone forces you to cut your hair. For those who don't know, it can be physical abuse, that can be emotional abuse, that could be mental abuse. But that is, no one should force you to do shit with your hair or your body, especially your spouse. I just want people to know that. But Lisa wears wigs because of this reason. She got a little bust down. And Daniel doesn't know that she has a history of dating women. He has no idea. And when she tried to test telling him that she dated women for 21 years, he told her she wasn't right with God and asked why she would even do that. And now she's afraid to tell him the rest. For those who don't know, Africans are being LGBTQ is still taboo in that culture, just like it's still taboo in America. Honestly, it's still taboo in most of the world, as quiet as it's kept. Sorry, not sorry. It's the truth. No matter how you feel about it or what you believe, the truth is the truth. I can't change it. You don't believe me? Google it. You don't like Google, get statistics, but it's true. So I don't understand what about this man got her to want to come back to men, but she's afraid to tell him this. She goes out to eat with her daughter and some friends. They all express the concern about romance scams, and it seemed like she was intentionally getting upset and refusing to look at the fact that she does fit the demographic of the women they go after. Older, single. She didn't feel like she fit that demographic. Her daughter got very emotional, got frustrated, left the table crying. And this is because her daughter she says she spent most of her childhood moving around. She went to over 15 schools. Her mom was married 5 times, and it seems like each time her mom was married, that meant that her life had to be uprooted and changed. I actually experienced that with my mom. James to tell y'all, I transferred to our high school, and I was only there for 2 years. Then I left. And by the time I left, I went to 4 different high schools. So, and we always moved growing up because my mom had a different husband or boyfriend or whatever the hell. So a lot of parents do this. It's not even just my parent. It's not specific to any communities. It's just something that unfortunately happens because single moms are people too. And sometimes they be wanting love, but they don't understand still keep their stability, But her daughter has this meltdown, and she promises her daughter again that she will not marry this man in Nigeria, which indicated to me that the mom be getting married randomly. Like she just be popping up married. My mom actually did that to me with her second husband. She pulled me out of school. I did not know why. I got pulled out of Miss Dryberry's class in English, and that lady was pissed. And they were like, "We need you to be a witness on the wedding, and you're over 14. You can do it." I said, "Huh? Y'all getting married? What?" I didn't know what the hell was happening. So it's given that's what the lady's mom did. And she makes a promise, "I will not marry this one while I'm in Nigeria. I promise." I said, "Oh, lady, you the hot mess express." James.
Because she was exhausting, and it's like, because to me, I got more frustrated with the fact that you are making this a spectator sport at this point, and then dragging your daughter on to be your cheerleader. It's like, why is this all about you, and why you can't be alone with yourself and then work on you before you go and find the next spouse again? That's all I need to know, because to me, y'all, she looked at this like this was such a joyous thing, like this was normal. Like not so much going out of the country to get a new husband or new man, but to be getting married at all.
She seemed proud of it.
Yeah, it was like
almost like she feels like she almost acted like she has something to prove to people, like to prove that she could get a man or keep a spouse. Because that's what he says, serial dating. Whenever people have been married and engaged a bunch of times, sorry, no shade, please do not take it personally, James, but that usually indicates something. Yes. Something they need to examine within themselves.
I agree. I agree. And mine is to tell my business. Go ahead.
Everybody. It's different for everybody, but that's not a normal thing. And it's not, you can't say it's unhealthy because you have to date to find your person. And that could take quite a few people. Mm-hmm. But it's not good if it's happening back to back to back to back. And she is describing this as being back to back to back to back.
See, here's the thing. This is different between me and this lady, though. I never really crossed that line yet with my engagement.
Not to do some stupid
shit. I know not to do no. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to say. I'm not finna go and do all of that when I have questions and ifs. And when they start making me doing shit that I would normally not do, that's when I start to question things, and then maybe it ends, maybe it doesn't. See, my whole problem with my business, I'm gonna tell my business, because yes, I've been engaged 5 times. I'm not ashamed to say that. I'm on my 5th one right now. I don't say no.
Being
Like,
engaged though 5 times is not as extreme to me though
it
as
is, because I'm only
being
35. So no,
married
that is
five
no.
times. That's 5 divorces, 5 legal documentations, 5 times
Right.
you gotta look at that clerk recorder because they never changed their job.
They
And she
don't.
probably like, oh, what's the last day for this year? I
Mm-mm.
mean, that's a bigger deal. Engagements, that's different because a lot of people do have the thought process of James, which is I just say yes and think about it later because they don't know if it's gonna come again. But after so long, you got to figure out you're lovable and the shit gonna come.
Well, no, after a while, you start. No, that's when, like, to me, luckily with this one, this was me asking versus them asking. This is my first time I've ever, no, my 3rd time asking someone else to marry me. The other two, them fools, proposed to me. But the thing about it is, I did it because I was sure that that was the person I want to be with. Now they're not sure. That's the difference. The other two are women. So it was one of those situations where one was my high school girlfriend. It didn't work out. She said no. Fine. The other one was my ex-wife. We all know how that ended. And then, the other 3 were the guys. And I think when she said that she was in relationship with women, I get how that could have happened and how you're more susceptible to say yes to them versus the men. Men, you kind of question. Women, there's such a safety point, I feel like, with women and women relationships, that I could see how it's easy. And the same thing could probably be said for men. I just have not experienced that yet.
I don't know. When I dated women, it was too problematic, too many emotions, and then our period synced. Never again.
Yeah, I don't know what you was doing. Yeah.
Yeah, never again. We're gonna get into the next couple, which is Aviva and Stig. Aviva coming from James's not hometown, but
Not my hometown, my very current city.
his
And
current city
yeah,
of
my very
residence.
current, yes.
But Aviva is running through the Sky Harbor Airport, and she is going to Belize to meet Stig, who is a popular singer in his country. We learn a little bit more about him. His actual name is Erlen. He says that girls get wild at his shows. He's in music. So I'm actually glad that he's admitting that shit gets wild and bitches be in his DMs and all of that. Because if he would have acted like everything was perfect, I would have been like, absolutely not, sir. Don't play. Don't play. Do not play. But we meet him and his friends kind of concern me because they genuinely seem confused, but also like they do not believe in his ability to be faithful to one woman. And that's realistic, but damn, can y'all root a brother on or say I'm hoping for the best? Or
No, this is where
are you
Aviva
sure
needs to
this what
pay
you
it.
want? Like
Aviva
maybe
needs to
just
pay
like
attention.
right, because his friends have no faith in him. Now, when I met my husband's friends when we were dating, they were actually very nice. They was like, you wanted the cutest he ever had. I said, okay, thank you, y'all. But in addition to that, they had also like confirmed that my husband was kind of like a relationship guy. Some of them made sure to let me know of his hoe moments. But then I learned, oh, he had girlfriends. Like he's a relationship person. These are good signs. Now, had I went around his friends and they was all like, I don't know if the nigga could be faithful. I don't know how this shit gonna work. I'm surprised he's still with you. Oh, I would have left. Red flag, especially Oakland, California. I would have got the fuck out of there and left. But Aviva, run.
No, Aviva gonna do what most Phoenix women do.
Oh no.
Yeah, she's gonna do what most Phoenix women do, especially when it's considered exotic relationships. Oh, they're gonna fight tooth and nail. She's not gonna listen to that auntie that literally went through the same shit. Where she's blessed that that shit happened that way.
I can't stand her for it. I can't. Essentially, nothing much happens. They meet. He admit he used to be a player, but now he wants a family and stability because he's 30. So he went to the little white girl in Phoenix, Arizona to get that.
Because
Fantastic.
9 out of 10, let me tell y'all something about people who come here from different countries. They hear that Phoenix women are very loyal and desperate to keep them because
Oh,
men
Lord.
are very in short supply here because a lot of them do go both ways. So yeah, they hear that Phoenix women will do whatever it takes to keep a man. They might let him cheat every now and then as long as he's willing to pay the
Rada.
bills. Yeah.
Now we see that that's where Rada came
Right,
from.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, as soon as they show Scott Sellers, I said that it makes sense.
And
That makes so
Love
much
After
sense.
Lockup always has somebody from over there every
I'm
season.
telling y'all need to stop doing that because listen, I know sometimes women here can be simple. I get it. But at the same time, this is not a good look. You got every red flag, Yelp review, Uber Eats review, everything in your disposal, even an auntie who literally went through this shit.
Mm.
And you still went all happy and joyous and ready to be in this man's face.
I mean, their introduction went well. I was happy she made him throw out the Chinese food. She's not the brightest bulb out of the bunch, but
Nope.
she seems sweet. Um, they got busy in the room. That's pretty much all we see with them. I know that they're going to be a roller coaster. Whenever they get a quick, simple little intro like this, it means the rest of the season going to be chaos.
Yep.
And she just seems so. She honestly reminds me of one of them girls in Clueless. If you know, you know.
Oh, I was going to say which one, but never mind.
We're gonna move on to Forrest and Sheena. Forrest has Sheena waiting at the airport. His dumbass mama left her passports on the plane. I don't know if she left her passports. I just think that lady was trying to stall for whatever reason. Because his mama don't like Sheena and what's going on. We didn't get much of them in the episode. We got them in the beginning. We got them kind of toward the end. But their embrace was sweet. It was actually really sweet. Her and Forrest seeing each other. I did feel warm in my heart. I don't know if it's because I'm coming off my cycle, y'all, or what, but I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this is sweet. This is
I'll
really
answer that. I'll
sweet.
answer that question for you. Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, because
Because
I mean,
to me, I just saw she know what it is with them disorders, and she taking full fledged advantage of it.
she
And
start crying, he start crying. I feel like they're both awkward, and I do want them to work. However, I can't lean into my good hopes for Sheena and Forrest until his mama gets to the bottom of this money. And I need to see the family because she's a veterinarian and I know that they're paid, much less compared to the USD out there, but she has a pretty good job. So I'm kind of like, girl, what's going on
to
with
me,
this
I
money?
don't
You're your
understand why
parent.
she didn't apply for a visa and do like a sponsorship on her own, considering her career is in medical.
I don't know. I
That's so weird.
genuinely do
That's
not
weird
know.
that
And
she didn't do.
veterinary degrees are usually acknowledged over here. It's not like a
Yes.
medical one. So I don't really know what that's about, but I mean, the first thing she did when she saw Molly, his mama, was hug her and humbly apologize. But of course, Molly still wants to discuss the family issues. Did you want to add anything to them? They weren't really in the episode.
No, because I feel like we gonna get more later, so I'm gonna reserve my opinion
Yeah.
until that conversation happens because I know it's gonna happen. So I'm gonna
Be
reserve my opinion.
prepared, James, to be here a while. Again, he's new to the series, but as a friend, he's supporting me as I'm trying to recap different things. 90 Day be going for a while, the seasons. So it'll be a slow build and they'll give you every bit of drama. But yeah, we didn't get much this time. We're going to get into the last couple of this episode, which was Rick and Trisha, who got busy in Madagascar. That sounds fun. I want to go. It looked beautiful. It looked beautiful. But they go out to a traditional meat market and he's freaked out about meat. He's like, it's not refrigerated. Negro, you had told us that you had been to Madagascar before and loved the women, and that's how you met Trish in the first place. So I am sure you done seen these markets. You're in the capital city of the country. Stop. Please stop. please, Black people, stop intentionally acting ignorant as it relates to culture, because he told us he done been there before. But they go through the meat market, and Trish eventually takes him on a ride to the top of a mountain where you can see all of the capital city of Madagascar. She also stops and dances with the band. And I was cracking up because he said, "Is that one of your traditional tribal dances?" She's like, "No, that's just how I dance." I said, "Rick, I'm gonna need you to work on your lack of culture. In other countries, you know how we just do our little two steps or the electric slide at events as Black people. They don't do that all the time everywhere else. They have other styles of moving."
I was like, stop being so ignorant. Oh my
Golly.
God. It was like, boy, if you don't sit down somewhere, like,
I see why he alone at his big age and got to find a woman half his age across the world,
I have other
younger than his
opinions.
oldest child. Don't. Mm-mm.
I have other opinions on him, but I'll
Yeah,
reserve
Rick.
that later.
I want to get to know more of him, and I want to see more of them on TV outside of the before the 90 days. I wish he was just on the regular one, because I feel like at home he's like just a big bunch of red flags.
Yep.
But she dances with the band, and then Rick claims to be feeling like he's falling deeper in love with Trisha, but he wants to talk to her about being ghosted for 5 days. So for 5 days, Trish didn't answer his calls, but was responded to him through text. It sounds like she was just very short in her responses. Yeah, she tells him basically the same thing that he had explained that she had told him already, which was that her ex got robbed, tried to make her an accomplice. And then after that happened, her brother got into a car accident in her car. And that was problematic. And she was just going through a lot and didn't want to deal with people. We also have to remember the traffic in Madagascar. She says it takes her 2 hours to get home. I wouldn't want to fucking talk to nobody either. Leave me the fuck alone. Part of being with someone, like my husband and myself are each very moody individually. I think it worked because we both understand when to leave the other the fuck alone. That is an art and a survival skill in any relationship. You just have to. You just do. I feel like he should have gave her the benefit of the doubt. And he says to us now, "I see the truth when I look in her eyes." Nigga, you couldn't see it through the FaceTime? I don't get it. I genuinely don't get it. Mind y'all, my relationship started virtually too. It
Same
took me
here.
a minute to come and see him. In fact, he almost cut me off because I took so long to come and see him. So I'm kind of like, girl, virtually, there's some things like a hug, the embrace that you can feel, but you could tell if somebody lying to you through FaceTime or not. You should be able to. So he believes her, but then he says to the camera in the confessional, he's like, "I still got to tell Trish my secret." We finally learned the secret. The secret is a bunch of red flags also. So Rick has a history of dating women who are not American in other countries, because the secret is that his ex from Colombia had hit him up. And during the 5 days that he felt ghosted by Trish, he somehow managed to get a last minute plane ticket to Colombia from California. That's a long flight from California, everybody. I'm in California. That's a long and expensive flight. Even with a discount, he was looking at least a rack. So you did that all in 5 days. Now, Rick, you full of shit, because you said to us that the reason that you did what you did in Colombia was because you were ghosted. So did you go to Colombia after you were ghosted for 5 days, or did you go during? Because the story he's telling us is that he went during the 5 days, which indicates that you went and bought your ticket before this girl ghosted you. So just admit that you cheated, Negro, and stop trying to bullshit. And how is it that at your big age, this man is pushing 50, he has a 30-year-old child, how are you this bad at lying? That's why he ain't married now.
First off, he is 50.
Oh,
And yeah, he is 50. He's 52, I believe that's what the age said. So no, he's well in his 50s. He's adjusted 2 years at least. I didn't believe his story either.
only part of the story that was believable was that he went to Colombia and he slept with that girl for days and played house with her like they was in a relationship. And somehow through sleeping with her, you were still texting Trish and worried and checking on her.
That's why I didn't believe the story. Because that's way. What was that?
He's a cheat. And I feel
No,
like
I think he did cheat, but I don't think it was that story. I don't think it was that. I think he did cheat. Absolutely. You know, he got a slew of baby mamas. So, like,
that's never a good side.
Yeah, it's like one of those situations where I feel like he probably called one of the little baby mamas, the little baby ones, and probably hit her up and then lied and made up this Columbia story just to make him seem like he was something that he wasn't. I don't believe that story. I just don't.
I don't either. Also, either way, we know you cheated, Rick. But why would you hit it before you tell her what you did, and then manipulate her to think, which we see he's going to do, that the reason you did what you did is because she ghosted you? But can't nobody in California get a flight to Colombia at the last minute that fast?
You would have to have a lot of money.
It'd be hard to get flights out here because people out here, we love to travel and we do it.
It's not, it is that, but then also you have to understand there is a lot of situations you have to go through to get those tickets, and get one where you would be there and back in a timely manner in order for you to get a response out of her and say you back home.
Your entry stuff, like when you go into other countries, even when it's simple with the visas, you still a lot of times have to fill out your little health information cards. You have to fill out and state your purpose for the trip, pay your tourist taxes, or pay for visas sometimes. And you can't always just do that on arrival. But okay, Rick, usually they want 3 days ahead of time. But all right. I don't know. He's weird. I don't like how he moves.
I don't like how he moves either because I feel like she on to you.
Yep.
And you gonna end up looking stupid. And if this is how you do women, try men. That's all I'm going to say. Like, if you're going to do this to women, go to men. Because men will tolerate that. Women, I feel like, don't deserve to get their hearts broken like that. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. But that was it, you guys, for this episode of 90 Day Fiance Before the 90 Days. I appreciate everybody for being here. I do want to say to everybody, happy holidays, Merry Christmas to those who celebrate, happy Hanukkah to those who are celebrating, and happy Kwanzaa to those who are going to be celebrating that the day after Christmas. I believe this is my last live, I think.
For the whole year.
I don't know. I think this is my last live because I feel like 90 Day Fiance will air next week. I'm not sure because I thought it wasn't airing today. I don't know what they're doing with Love and Hip Hop. The next live I'll have will be January the 2nd, if nothing airs, and that will be going over the Mary Cosby documentary that will be also airing on TLC. James will be joining me for that. We're also adding a new show on the new year, which will be the Valley Persian style. And then later in the new year, I'll be adding the Housewives of Rhode Island and Ultimate Girls Trip. In the meantime, James has lots of shows, and we're going to head over to his channel right now to go over Housewives of Potomac and Married to Medicine. So see the link in the description to get there quickly. Love and light to everybody. Happy holidays. Thank you to the replay gang, and I'll see y'all next time. Adios.